Well, everyone, welcome to Irreverent Aliens. This is episode 3,
Episode 3.
and it's JB and myself, Papa Versa,
Yep.
and we are here to talk about no Marvel things. That's really we're not trying to talk about anything Marvel at all.
That's right.
the goal.
I guess we're just gonna move on from that phase
Moving on.
of our lives,
Speaking of moving on,
Yep.
why can't Wanda freaking move on from the kids thing?
I don't know.
So okay, so we went to see Doctor Strange,
Yep.
right? And there's going to be a ton of spoilers in this episode. So
That's right. Oh, spoiler warning.
if you've not seen it by now,
Yep.
I know it's been only 5 days since it's been out, but that's
right.
on you.
Yep.
Okay.
Opening weekend.
Opening weekend,
I've
you have your shot.
Yep. I've actually seen it twice already.
Yeah, really?
Yes.
How?
I saw it yesterday.
Where did you go by yourself?
Well, no, I went with Rachel,
Really?
my wife. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
so
Because she couldn't go on Sunday.
What did she think? Did she like it?
She liked it. Yeah.
Did she?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was gonna be too much for her with all the,
No, it was great.
Okay.
It was we were able to go to the theater in the neighborhood.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, kind of
That's
hard to
awesome.
get away from the kid for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
But so yeah, I got to watch it.
That's
Actually, I probably saw
funny.
it like 2.5 times.
So you have notes. You've been in it.
I've been in it. I've been also reading a lot of stuff. Also, after we saw it on Sunday, I was scrolling through TikTok, and there's already a bootleg version of the movie on TikTok.
The whole movie.
The whole movie.
Who's uploading the whole movie on TikTok? That's a long movie. Or was it in clips?
So TikTok, you can upload up to 10 minutes now.
Right.
So there it was. It was
Your whole
12 parts. Yeah.
It's just.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. They have a whole bunch of other movies.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's a camcorder recorded.
And somehow Marvel has not.
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, TikTok is owned by China. I don't know.
I see.
I have no idea. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
It has the whole movie divided up into 12 parts, all uploaded onto the TikTok.
Yeah.
But also, it was live streaming the movie.
Interesting.
So I'm like scrolling, and it's like, boom, live stream. And it was
So I can
Dr.
go and
Strange.
see it
I'm
again
like,
right
what
now.
is going on right now? So I watched like half of the movie
On TikTok.
on TikTok.
That's crazy. That's the most bizarre thing I've seen
It
and heard
was
about.
very bizarre, yeah.
So what do you think, since you've seen it so many times in multiple angles and multiple versions and multiple clips, what did you think about Doctor Strange?
Well, I loved it.
You loved it?
Yes. I mean, I saw it. That's why I saw it multiple times.
Ranking out of 10, where's it at for you?
I mean, there's 27 movies, 28 movies now.
So if you were to give a rating.
Oh, rating.
Yeah, rating.
Okay.
Sorry.
A solid 8.5.
Okay.
Yeah, solid 8, between 8 and 8.5.
Okay.
It's not a mediocre movie.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a solid, good movie.
Solid, good movie.
Yeah, I didn't walk away from it with my mind blown
Right.
or thinking, wow, this is, it
Yeah.
wasn't like Endgame or Infinity War or
Right.
even No Way Home.
Civil War, yeah.
Right. But it was a good movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
All right.
Yeah.
It's good.
I mean, to be honest, I was a little disappointed.
In what?
I was a little disappointed that there weren't more cameos. And last episode I said, look, I couldn't wait to see what their Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire moment was going to be. And I feel like it didn't really have that moment.
Because it was spoiled for you, though.
Yes, a lot of the characters were spoiled. I thought they could have done a lot more with the opportunities they had. Professor X, of course, he's an iconic character, but
Right.
what if it was Wolverine?
Yeah.
And
I like how they all just died, just mercilessly. Yeah, that's a Wanda. Not even a shot. Just,
right. Yep.
Just oh well, yep, they're gone. Yep.
I mean that if you're gonna make a horror movie, you have to kill
Yeah.
a lot of people.
Right.
And that was really the only way they could do it.
Right.
Was by going to a different universe.
True.
And then just killing everybody, right? So that was very smart. I actually listened to an interview of Elizabeth Olsen, who plays Wanda, and she said that she was actually supposed to kill more people.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Damn.
Yep. So I'm a little curious.
Who else was she supposed to, I mean, who was
she supposed to kill, you know?
Interesting.
Yeah, that was I thought that was interesting. Now, so yeah, the biggest surprise to me was Reed Richards.
Yes. Uh-huh.
What's his superhero name?
Mr. Stretchy Pants? I don't know.
Mr. Something.
Huh? Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
That's right.
That's
Fantastic Four. Thank you, our producer Jeremy over there.
Jeremy Jed in the house.
Sound.
Yeah.
All of it.
I don't know, am I allowed to like just like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
'Cause, like I don't want to be like.
No, you're in.
That guy talking.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you're in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Please. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
But yeah, Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic.
Because John Krasinski. Okay, spoiler. John Krasinski plays Mr.
There's
Fantastic.
gonna be spoilers in this thing, so watch out.
Fans have been lobbying him to play Mr. Fantastic for like years,
Really?
10 years. I don't even know how long. Fans want him to play Mr. Fantastic, and fans want his wife, Rachel. What's your name?
John Krasinski's wife is Emily Blunt.
Emily. God, yeah, Emily Blunt.
You're off
They want
time.
Emily Blunt to play the Invisible Woman. So it's been a like a fan campaign thing for a really long time. So it happened. So that was really the only thing that was surprising to me.
Okay.
I think the Inhuman King Black Bolt, that was supposed to be a oh my gosh kind of moment too, but nobody knows who that is.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I had to look it up afterwards.
I had no idea.
And then I found out, oh, it's the same actor from the TV show that lasted one season. That's really dumb.
That's sad.
Yeah.
He seemed very powerful until Wanda showed up. He seemed like the most, everyone's so afraid of him speaking, and then
Yep. Yeah.
Anyway, go watch it if you haven't seen it.
Well, that it really reoriented Wanda's character for me in terms of
Tell me about that.
looking at how overpowered she was in the.
You think she was too powerful?
I mean,
Like
but no,
unreasonable?
that's her character. She's
Right.
supposed to be one of the most powerful characters in
Right.
the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
But going all the way back to Age of Ultron, even Civil War, looking at what she did in WandaVision, like she definitely was holding her punches. Because, think about when she was fighting all the Avengers, or half of the Avengers,
Right.
In Civil War.
Right.
I mean, she single-handedly killed like the Avengers of another universe.
She did say she was being reasonable
Yes,
in the movie.
right.
So
it changed the way I look at her character in previous movies, and it made me also kind of sad because if she had been that powerful, and part of it I think in previous movies she hadn't tapped into her full potential.
Right. Exactly.
But if she had tapped into her full potential, when Thanos invaded, he would just have been,
But it wouldn't have made for a compelling story if
That's
she
right.
had. So
Yep. It was a little bit bummer.
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's all right. I mean, I think I was sitting there and thinking about everybody who was in the theater watching that movie without having seen any of the TV shows. And like, what are they getting out of this? Because I'm like, WandaVision, that whole show was like the character development
That's
and
right.
creating the impetus for
Yep.
what was happening there. So I'm like, if you've not seen any of that stuff, forget about it, So I'm very curious to see how Marvel will continue to weave that into
Right.
their whole plans.
Right.
You know?
Well, I think Marvel does a good job of referencing previous shows or movies, and then basically having a handful of lines in there.
Sure, to kind of help.
Kind of, yeah.
Yes, but you don't feel, but you don't like feel it as much.
That's
you know?
right.
It's not as
Yeah.
deep.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why, one of the ponderings I had about this whole movie was Wanda too one-dimensional?
Like, non-nuanced, you mean? Like,
Right.
what do you mean?
I felt like Wanda. So the whole story of WandaVision is she gets dusted, she comes back, finds out not only did she kill the love of her life, but the love of her life is being dissected,
Right.
and it's just torn apart like
Right.
a machine. I mean, he's a machine. And then she goes through the grieving process, goes to the town where they were even talking about maybe starting a new life together, and then turns that town into her own fantasy.
Right.
Discovers she didn't even know she could do that, but she did it. And then she has to go through this whole process of coming to terms with Vision being dead, and then ultimately choosing to release the innocent people from her spell. And so I feel like there was a lot of character development in terms of her dealing with the trauma of her past, the trauma of becoming an Avenger, and then the trauma of losing her loved one, and then she just became really evil at in this movie. So it's like they totally forgot about everything that happened in WandaVision. That's how I felt. And I even read like the director, Sam Raimi,
Raimi, I think. Yeah.
director Sam Raimi didn't even watch WandaVision. He like saw parts of it, or he was told like here are some significant moments. But I felt like Wanda was too one-dimensional, and the character made sense if you didn't watch WandaVision.
Okay.
If you watched WandaVision, the character kind of didn't make sense to me.
Okay.
So,
Well, it made sense to me because it wasn't like she was repeating what she was like doing before, right? She had this like fantasy world, this thing, and it's like, okay, I don't want to hurt these people because I'm doing this thing that is just completely unnatural-ish, with like bringing back this like being that's really dead, right, and holding on to that, and so on and so forth. So she lets the people go because they're innocent, and then she becomes the Scarlet Witch, right? But she still has that pain, still has that angst. So all of a sudden, she is in a position where she's able to see, okay, wait, there are universes where my kids are real and alive, and present. Like that's like a new pain, right? And so that gets activated. So now that's what she's focused on. She's focused on like trying to reach those real things, those things that are alive that she can hold on to. She's still in grief, so she's not thinking very straight, but she's like, I have to do that. So then everything that she's doing, all the evil is really about that.
right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I like thought it was really smart of like the whole a team to decide to release this movie on the Mother's Day weekend, because that was like pretty much kind of the
love of a mother.
Love, exactly.
The grief
exactly,
of a mother.
grief of
Yeah.
mother. So I thought that was very interesting, and so like it made sense to me because it wasn't so much that she did the same thing all over again. No, it was she was channeling her grief in ways that she rationalized, was like,
Right.
hey,
Yeah.
I have this thing. There's these actual kids that are out there in these universes. Let me do everything that I can to be with them because I long to be with them. So anyway, it just makes sense to me in that way.
I just felt like in WandaVision, she was able to overcome her grief, or at least start that process, and it felt like she took a step back.
But it was
this movie.
a different grief, right? So that's how
Oh,
I
you
saw
mean
it.
in WandaVision, it was the grief of Vision being
Exactly.
gone. But now she's dealing with the grief of her
Exactly.
kids
And
being not real.
Not real, but there's real kids.
Right. But
somewhere
then
else.
realizing that the kids do exist in a
Exactly.
different universe. Yeah.
That's different for me.
That's that's a good point. And one of the things, I mean, the only way, or the way in which I kind of made sense of the rather drastic pivot that Wanda made, in my opinion, I think what you just said makes sense. But the movie also hinted at it, and the influence of the Darkhold, right?
Right, sure.
So
right,
Doctor Strange talks about it.
Right.
Professor X, when he enters Wanda's mind, he's trying to free Wanda. So I think there's also the question of, how much of her personified grief how much was that an influence of the Darkhold?
Right.
Or was it, was the Darkhold like amplify that part of herself?
Sure.
Or was that always a part of who she was, who she is? But so that was interesting too, and I'm sure we'll get to explore that more in the future if she comes back.
Yeah.
Which I think she will. I don't think she's dead.
She'll be back.
But,
No, she's not dead.
Yeah. And I don't think there's going to be a cop-out of like, a variant of Wanda is going to come back. No, I think
It's going to be the Wanda.
I think Scarlet Witch is alive.
Yeah.
I don't think a bunch of rocks are going to
bunch
kill
of
her.
rocks. That was some big rocks.
Yeah. Now, I mean, because I've seen this,
3 times.
2.5 times now, there is a part when when whatever the Darkhold Palace is coming down. There's a shot where as it's coming down, there's one final red explosion, and it could be like her transporting somewhere or something.
It could be. We'll find out.
Yeah.
So for me, I enjoyed this movie, but I think I would like give it like a 7 because I guess most of the Marvel movies that have made it to an 8 or 9 or even like a 10, right, for me, they've left me with some moral, like philosophical question to think about, if not for an hour, maybe a day or two, maybe a week or so. And I don't think I left with that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So, like, with Civil War and Black Panther and, Endgame, I just had these questions that extended to life. I didn't really have that with this movie. I mean, I think the, like, central theme was, happiness and hypocrisy and authenticity and so on and so forth. So I think those were the things that I picked up, but I didn't leave with that feeling that I had from even the new Batman, right? The new Batman that leaves you with that feeling that, okay, I didn't quite get that with this one. It was I had lots of questions about the characters and where it's gonna go and all that stuff. So I had up my fix there, but I didn't get my fix with that.
Okay. The larger kind of philosophical question. Yeah. I thought it had a pretty
what was it for you?
Compelling question, which was actually very similar to the larger question posed at the end of Loki, which I guess this is the question that everybody thinks about when you have time travel and different realities and stuff. But if you had the power to change your reality, to make it into your greatest desire, like, would you do that? How far would you go to do that? What does that say about your satisfaction of your current life? What does it mean to be satisfied? What does it mean to be happy? Because like at the end of Loki, when Loki and Sylvie in the last episode are talking to the little animated time thing, and the animated time thing is like tempting them, like, hey, you know, we can put you in a universe where all of your dreams come true.
Right.
You can rule over the universe. You could even kill Thanos. And they're both like, no, we don't want that, right? So in this movie, you have several Doctor Stranges.
Right.
Well, yeah, you have the
Three.
Doctor Strange in the whatever the one with the third eye. He uses the dark hold because he wants to be with Christine, and so he goes searching for a universe where that's happening. Wanda wanting to get America Chavez's power so that she could go to a universe where she can have her kids.
Right.
And then our main Doctor Strange, he
616.
grapples with that from the very beginning. Like, you know, the idea of, am I happy? Yeah, I'm happy.
Right.
And then even at the end,
Yeah.
he asked Wong, hey, you know, are you happy? And Wong was like, well, that's an interesting question. You know, so.
Yeah, I mean, so I definitely saw that, but it seemed still very contained to a world in which those kinds of things are possible. Do you know what I'm saying? In my world, that's not possible. Like, I'm not able to go to a different universe. That's just not a possibility for me. So I think I was looking. I like really enjoy those movies that are fantastical and are able to, like, you know, they are able to, like, essentially help to suspend my reality while dealing with questions that are very much about my reality. So if you look at something like Civil War, right? The question is, at least the one that I walked away with, is how much are you willing to defend your friend and the integrity of that relationship against all odds, right? And that's a very real question that I can see in my life right now, and so on and so forth. But I didn't quite get that with this one. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
that's,
Well, I
that's where I'm
mean,
at.
he's definitely like, yeah, none of us have the ability
Yeah,
to
it's
travel
like-
through time or anything like that.
It's like, when am I ever gonna have that? I mean, so yeah, I mean, that's why I would make it more like a 7 than an 8.5 or 9 or 10.
Right. Well, I guess for me is the question of, you know, am I happy with my life? Am I satisfied
Yeah.
with my life?
That's a good question.
I think that it's a question that everybody can ask of themselves. And the fact that Doctor Strange, who basically came to a place of being able to find that place of happiness, or that place of contentment and satisfaction, when other versions of him who lived the same life didn't, and they did everything in their power to change their fate or whatever. I think that what that shows me is, hey, there's a way in which we can form our mindset
Right.
that could that affects our outlook on life.
Sure.
And so I think that's what makes our Doctor Strange heroic.
True.
And
It's good.
you know, that, yeah, so I thought from that standpoint, I liked what the movie, kind of the answer the movie was providing. And Wong says, you know, basically Wong says that he's like, yeah, you know, sometimes I think about, like, you know, what other versions of me are doing, but I'm good with where I'm at, kind of thing. So now the reason I would give it an 8 or 8.5 is similar to why I really liked Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Okay.
to me, when a movie plays a pivotal role in the the larger story, that it gets brownie points from that, right? So that was the big difference between like Captain Marvel and Ant-Man and the Wasp. Both of those movies came out between Infinity War and Endgame. Captain Marvel was just a prequel, and yeah, I already bashed Brie Larson once, so I'm not going to do that. But Ant-Man and the Wasp provided very pivotal storyline or element for the larger story.
True.
This, although I was really disappointed that they didn't have more cameos, at the very least, what this movie did was it established two, arguably three, probably three very important things. One, it established that mutants exist.
Okay.
Two, it established that Inhumans exist. And three, it established that the Fantastic Four exist. And so, from that standpoint,
in the MCU,
right, in the MCU. So, because we haven't seen that until this movie,
right?
So
that was big.
At the very least, it established some very important things for where the movies are going to go in the future. So that's where it gets more brownie points for me.
Yeah.
That's where like it's different from some of the other Marvel movies.
Yeah, sure.
So
what's up with the third eye thing?
I had to read up on that.
Me too.
Yeah.
So like what I found out was that it's supposed to represent the eye of Agamotto.
Yep.
And instead of it being, kind of the like necklace or whatever that he was wearing, now it's like literally on his head.
Yep.
Which is really creepy, but whatever.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily good or bad. It's just a thing.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a new. It's almost like a new time stone.
Right.
On his forehead.
Well, so to me, the Eye of Agamotto was just it was another kind of fan service kind of thing, in my opinion. It's like an obscure comic book reference because if you just watch the movies or even the shows, like, you have no idea what this thing is, what it does, right? And especially because the Eye of Agamotto that he was wearing in the first movie and onwards, I thought it was just a little amulet that was used to protect the time stone. I had no idea it has separate powers, right? And so that was new to me, and I didn't know that. The movies never explained that. So, like, this being the incarnation of the Eye of Agamotto is like, okay. To me, it's just like, the curse of using Darkhold.
Sure.
So I thought it was a bad thing. I thought he was going to become evil.
That's what I thought. But then it's like, oh, wait, nope. It's neither good nor bad. It's just a thing.
Right.
But
it gives him more power.
It does, which is interesting.
Yeah. I thought it was funny how Sam Raimi did a great job. It was truly a comic book horror movie. Obviously, it wasn't like a horror movie.
But it was like spooky and had some elements.
Right.
Of that,
and it like jump scares.
Do you know that some people actually like hated that about it, and like they like gave like a low rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm like, okay, number one, you have a movie that has a sorcerer.
Yeah.
Okay. Expect some things. Number two, like whether you knew that Wanda was the villain or not, you know that Wanda is like the Scarlet Witch or something in that area. So like a witch, a sorcerer, and then you heard about Sam Raimi, like
horror director. I mean, come on.
You should.
Yeah.
That's on you. That's
yeah. But the ending was like the ending of a horror movie.
Sure.
Oftentimes in horror movies you'll have like the protagonist defeats the great evil or the ghost or whatever, and then it ends with actually no, that's not what happened.
Yep.
There's a little twist at the end. So I was like, oh my gosh, Doctor Strange is evil. But the mid-credit scene made it clear that no, he's just still Doctor Strange with another eye. So
just extra eye.
yeah,
it's weird. Cool. Who was your like favorite actor in the movie, or like when you're an actor, who was the most compelling character to you in the movie?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, Doctor Strange, he, from an acting standpoint, the fact that he had to play, 4 different characters, I said that was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
But lately, I've been incredibly impressed. And I mean, I think a lot of people just love Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah.
She played a great villain.
She did.
And I mean, yeah, it was amazing the way she just killed everybody.
So you're dead. You're dead. You're dead.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, I really liked her. And going back to, I thought you were gonna ask me which cameo was my favorite. Which probably is John Krasinski, partly because all the cameos were already ruined. Like I knew 3 of the cameos going in because
you look for those spoilers.
Or it came out in the leaked TV spot. So now I'm thinking that TV spot was supposed to be for like a DVD TV spot, like 3 months from now or something. Anyways, also Patrick Stewart, the Professor X, that was in the very first.
Right.
His voice, although he denied it, but
liar.
Yeah.
I'm in Marvel. I trust, but I don't trust any of the actors.
Yeah. I mean, that's how they got me with Spider-Man. Because when all these villains, it was revealed there was going to be all these villains from the previous movies. Obviously, everybody thinking, well, yeah, then Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are absolutely going to be in this movie.
And they're like, no.
And then Andrew Garfield just kept denying it over and over and over and over again. And so I was like, okay, well, I guess that's a pipe dream. I honestly had no idea they were going to be in the movie, right?
It's funny. And
so that's why it was such a mind-blowing scene when they came out. And that's what interesting to me is there were rumors that Sony and Marvel had a big fight about whether to include Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in one of the trailers before the movie came out.
Interesting.
And Marvel said, no, you cannot show them. And Sony wanted to show them in the trailer.
Interesting.
Thank goodness Marvel won out that argument, right?
Marvel's smart.
So here comes Marvel saying, look, these big reveals, we're already giving away like little stuff with Doc Ock and all these other villains with the Green Goblin and all that. So that's enough, right? And so that's why I was surprised that Marvel didn't keep the secret, I guess, more secret.
Yeah, they, maybe like Phase 4, there's some loose cannons in there. It's not quite as tight as old phases.
And I mean, John Krasinski, I think that was masterful because I had no idea.
Yeah.
And everybody's been wanting him to play Mr. Fantastic, but Black Bolt, total missed opportunity. Complete miss. I mean, the actor played the character for 1 season. Like, no one even knows.
Nope.
Unless I don't know. And I see all the shows. And that's the one show that I didn't watch.
Where was it on? And how long ago was this on?
It was on ABC around the time Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was on. It was like
really?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., maybe the 3rd season or something. But I thought it would have been better if they had Quake in there from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. by Chloe Bennett, because she's a more, in my mind,
everyone knows her.
In my mind, she's a more recognizable character than this one guy, because she was in the show for like 8 seasons or whatever.
Well, everybody,
right?
we all knew Quake.
I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has had a much bigger following.
I watched it. I think I watched it maybe like twice now.
All of it? Really? I've seen all of it once. But
Yep. I love that show.
but imagine like if she was in there instead of the Black Bolt.
That would have been cool.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been cool.
But like I said, missed opportunity. Unless they're saving her for something even bigger. They gotta bring her back. I mean, come on. Like, how do you not?
Because you spent 8 years investing in that,
right?
And now they're bringing back, Daredevil and all these other people.
Yeah,
so, yeah, that's cool. I think that'll be cool.
Yeah, and I think Agents of Shield. Now that I think about it, it probably happened in a different universe.
No, it didn't.
I think they're probably gonna rewrite the story so that it happened in a different universe.
most of the things that were happening were set in the same universe as.
Yes, but I think they're gonna make it so that it's here. I have two main reasons.
Okay, why?
Okay, one. This already came up when a year ago when WandaVision came out. The Darkhold was in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And
right.
It was a different book.
Okay.
Two, the more compelling reason, the reason that makes no sense to me, why...
Makes no sense to you.
Huh?
Go on.
Right.
Go on.
I mean, the more compelling reason is Coulson never comes up again in the movies. Even when Tony Stark died at his funeral. At the very least, I'm like, play some homage to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Have him be standing next to Nick Fury at the funeral. I mean, goodness gracious. And he doesn't even show up to the funeral? It doesn't even make sense. So I think in our MCU universe, in our movie universe, Coulson stayed dead. And in a different universe, Coulson was brought back to life. That's the only way. I mean, it makes no sense. It made no sense that Coulson wasn't at the funeral.
Maybe he was really busy. He and May were, doing it. They're just going to chill and do something, together thing, I don't know.
If Nick Fury can make it, Coulson could have made it too.
We'll see.
Yep.
We'll see. I feel like if Marvel wants to bring him, they will figure out a way to do that.
Yep.
I've said it before, guys. In Marvel, we trust.
Yep. Trust in Marvel.
Except, sometimes, they do some things.
Yep.
What are you looking forward to the most this year? You've not seen Moon Knight, have you?
No. Okay. I'm gonna start on Moon Knight here soon.
Do you like to wait for the whole show to be out and then you watch it?
Pretty much. Yep. Yeah.
That's
actually, good. Moon Knight. The MCU shows. I kind of have a tradition with a group of friends, and so we've been watching it, and so we just haven't had time to watch it together. So. But yes, I generally like to wait until everything comes out, and then I'll watch it. Yeah.
Why is Shang-Chi your favorite MCU movie?
Shang-Chi is not my favorite MCU movie.
Why not?
Well, because he's Chinese.
And?
Okay, he's not Korean. My favorite is probably Ant-Man.
Ant-Man?
No, that's a lie. Ant-Man is not my favorite. Ant-Man, in terms of origin story... Okay, wait, I gotta
go most pleasantly surprising for you was the Ant-Man story?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I really like comedic relief in movies, and I think it's probably the funniest MCU. I mean...
it's up there.
Thor Ragnarok was hilarious.
Right.
It's the funniest origin story.
Okay.
So I think, okay, let me think about it. Out of all the origin stories, I think Ant-Man is the best, in my opinion.
The funniest or the best?
It's the best. Which origin story is better? Okay, Iron Man was pretty good. but I think Ant-Man is up there with Iron Man.
What makes a good origin story for you?
No. When I say origin story, I'm just talking about the
introduction.
Introduction to a new character. So whether it be the first Thor, the first Captain America, first Iron Man, you have Black Widow's first solo movie, Captain Marvel first solo movie, obviously Eternal, Shang-Chi.
Black Panther for me.
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, come on. Black Panther.
No, but seriously though, wasn't that like a dope introduction where he's at the thing, the UN thing, his father dies, and then oh my gosh, he gets nuts, he goes crazy, chases.
I waited a couple months to watch the Black Panther, and so I thoroughly experienced the cultural phenomenon that it created, and so I think I went into the movie with too high of expectations. So,
but I'm saying he was introduced in Civil War, though.
Yes.
You're
saying
said
Civil
introduction.
War. No, I'm talking about the first solo movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
He keeps shifting the definition, you know.
Yeah, no. I meant very first solo movie.
First solo movie. Okay, yeah, okay.
So like Spider-Man Homecoming, Black Panther, they're all good. I mean, Black Panther was good. Spider-Man Homecoming was good. Yeah, there are a lot of movies I think that are at that level. Obviously Thor 1, Captain America 1, not at that level, right?
Yeah.
But to me, Ant-Man is at that level.
Sure.
I don't know why.
I'll give you that. I think for me the expectations were low. That it just really surprised me how good it was.
Yeah.
And that may be why you like it so much.
And it's not the story. Story was very standard MCU, kind of story.
Right.
But Paul Rudd is hilarious.
He's funny.
And that Mexican dude, I'm just waiting until he does the whole monologue about the blip.
Yeah.
The snap.
That would be funny.
Wait,
hasn't he already done that? I thought he hasn't done that yet. Huh?
Okay. That's that I know of. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway.
Oh,
where we at?
Well, funny story regarding because we were talking about Quake, and Chloe Bennett, and also Black Bolt. These guys kind of being more of the minor characters that not everybody knows about, but like if you're a dedicated fan, then you know about, right? Well, Charlie Cox, who plays Daredevil, obviously Daredevil was pretty big in Netflix, but not everybody saw it, right? Funny story about him is when he did his cameo in Spider-Man, he was getting texts from, I think, his wife's brother. His wife's brother had sent them a video of the theater's reaction when he shows up on the screen.
No reaction.
There are people going crazy.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh! And so I don't know that he expected that there was going to be that kind of, people were going to be really excited about it.
Right.
So he, after getting that video, he snuck into a local movie theater so he could actually experience it himself. The theater erupting, cheering.
At that moment.
Right? He comes on screen. Cricket.
No one. Gotta have the right people in the room.
He had the wrong audience.
Yeah, feels like Ghana.
Yep.
I watched it in Ghana. And first of all, please, my fellow Ghanaians, when you're in a movie theater, put your phone away, okay? Don't be Snapchatting, don't be TikToking, don't be texting. Just put it away and enjoy the movie. You don't have to take pictures in the theater that you post online to tell people anyway. So people were already doing that, and I was at the back, I was up there, so I was able to just see people's screens and stuff. So I was already very distracted by all of that, and I was like, man, I miss watching this stuff with Johnny and people who take this serious, and then he came on, and literally I was the only one who I could feel that energy of like excitement. Like everyone's like, yep, it's just another scene on your phone.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed, but anyway, I was excited to to like see that moment, and that so far has been my favorite Marvel like show because of all those questions that it leaves me with. Every single episode, I'm left with something that I can feel and I can think about, and just the sound design is unique, and it just like felt very gritty and very real.
It was a great show.
It was a beautiful show.
It was almost as good as the Iron Fist.
Oh my gosh, no. I will confess, I watched 3 episodes of the Iron Fist, and I just read the Wikipedia for the rest.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't.
I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed
Yeah.
it?
Mm-hmm.
I was in a season of my life where I was like trying to be very intentional about what I watch and time. So I was like, I'm not really getting much value from this. I just want to know what is going on and if it fits into something else. So
it was actually the only other Defender series that I watched.
Oh, you didn't watch Luke
Jessica Jones or Luke Cage.
Interesting.
Which it's funny because Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, those are typically heralded as the 3, really good Marvel series on Netflix, and Iron Fist was horrible.
Yes.
But I thought Iron Fist was fun. I liked it.
It's okay.
Yeah. I can't remember the girl in Iron Fist. She is hoping to come back to the MCU, but the actress was almost casted to play a role in Shang-Chi, but it would have been a different role. So she kind of didn't want to shut her door on the character that she played in Iron Fist. But there was also a scheduling conflict with the new Matrix movie. That's why she didn't appear in Shang-Chi. But so we'll see. We'll see how they bring in all of those characters and if they'll bring in all of those characters. But yeah. Speaking of Spider-Man in Ghana, I'm glad you got to watch it because Spider-Man still hasn't been released in China.
That's I heard you're mentioning that. That's wild. Why is that?
The reason it hasn't been released in China is that China is very strict about like American patriotism and all that stuff in their media. They're very controlling of TV shows and movies. Like Facebook is banned over there.
Yeah.
They asked Sony and Marvel to remove the Statue of Liberty from the movie.
So that's like the climax and the biggest conflict in the movie. Just like take it out.
It is the last third of a 2.5 hour long movie. So I don't know. I don't know what they were asking. I mean, how do you do that? How do you remove a third of the movie? So
yeah,
it's just ridiculous. But
that's interesting.
Yeah, it is Hollywood and politics, geopolitical conflict. It's so fascinating to me.
Do you think that in like future movies that Marvel will be thinking about those things?
Well, Marvel has always thought about those things. Marvel has always been, not just Marvel, movies in general have tried to basically kind of listen to what China wants them to do, right? Or kind of tiptoe around China's request and things like that, because China is now the second largest market, right? Movie studios they'll edit scenes, they'll take things out so that they can release
in the writing, like
I think they've done that in the past, but now because they're so big, they're at a point where like we're not going to compromise.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna give creative licenses to our writers and our directors, and they're just
Right.
they're gonna do like Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi, the first Asian superhero, not the first Asian superhero, but an Asian superhero, you know,
Right. Blockbuster.
right. China, Shang-Chi never got released there,
Just nuts.
you know, because Chinese people thought he was too ugly or
That's
something.
so bizarre.
I mean, China is a very, Asia in general is a very superficial country. But
Also, if you are in China, please, download our podcast.
That's right.
We love you. Thank you.
I'm pretty sure that they can't even download this podcast over there.
We love you. We love you. Thank
We
you
love
for
you.
supporting us.
That's right. Yep.
Hang in there.
But yeah, I mean, the Doctor Strange got banned in a lot of countries too. A lot of Middle Eastern countries.
Right. Yeah, because of the same sex
Stuff.
same sex scenes, right?
Right.
With like moms of
Yeah.
I think America Chavez.
Yeah.
Chavez. Yeah.
12 seconds, right?
12
So
seconds, yeah.
America Chavez's mom, you know, it's revealed that she had 2 bombs. Bunch of these countries asked Marvel if they could, you know, take this part out, and Marvel said no. Whereas Disney in the past has listened to requests. I believe in the last Star Wars movie, at the very end of the movie, there's like literally half a second of 2 female characters like kissing because they just, you know, won the war.
Right.
And so I think like these countries, Middle Eastern countries, asked them to remove that, and they did.
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure they did. So it was able to be released and all that. But, I mean, in some ways, I guess America Chavez's mom, that was a pretty pivotal scene in the movie. But I think it's also Marvel saying, no, like, you know, we're not gonna
Yeah.
you know, we're not gonna quote unquote cave
Sure.
or whatever.
Sure.
So
Hey, yeah, kudos to them for like standing their ground on whatever
Yep.
it is, and China to not China but like like UAE and other areas just also like standing on their ground, and we'll see what happens, but
yeah,
they're missing out. They're missing out.
They
on
are
a
missing
great
out.
movie. So
And what these countries got to realize is that censorship typically doesn't turn out very
Nope.
well. I mean, because the people find out. You're telling me that people in these countries aren't going to watch this movie?
VPN. When it comes out, VPN.
There's a
And
thing,
also
yeah.
TikTok.
There's a thing called the internet. Okay.
Yep.
Although in North Korea, North Korea recently, in the last few years, passed a law where you can't be distributing any like anti-North Korean propaganda or any like cultural things from other countries.
Did your family tell you that?
Huh?
Did your family in?
Yeah. I got a
North
call
Korea,
from
North
the
Korea.
dictator, and he told me personally. But when Squid Game came out, there was a smuggler who smuggled copies of Squid Game to North Korea, and then a high schooler bought it, and then he gave it out to and he watched it with a bunch of his classmates. North Korea, and then North Korea caught him. The
Really?
kids, yeah. And
What did they do to them?
well, the smuggler was executed by firing squad.
Are you serious?
The kid who distributed it got like 30 years.
Wow.
The kids who watched it all got like, I don't know, 10 years or something.
Are you serious?
This is prison sentence. And then the teachers and the staff at the school where this happened all got 5 years of
Just
labor
because
camp.
it happened.
Yeah,
there.
because it happened under their watch. They all lost their jobs, and they're all getting 5 years of labor camp.
Wow.
Yep. I am not from North Korea, everybody. Want everybody to
Disclaimer.
know.
Yeah. Me, then just so I can also just make sure people are aware that I am also not from North Korea, even though you can make that mistake, but I'm not from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Or you're not from a country that's as brutal as North Korea.
No, not even.
People might think that about Africa.
No, it's not a country, but okay, John. Oh,
Yeah.
man, that's
So,
wild.
mhm.
Well, I'm thankful that we get to exist as irreverent aliens.
Yep.
In this country
That's right.
called the U.S.
Yep.
For however long we're here, and that we get to enjoy these movies without any issues.
Yep. For all the faults that America may or may not have,
Yep.
I am very thankful to be here too.
Just because we get to watch Marvel movies.
That's right.
And we now have a show that that we get to have on in this country and talk about Marvel
About
movies.
Marvel.
Like
Yep.
what is going on?
And we can criticize the movie.
yes.
I can say that Brie Larson
Yep.
didn't act very well in that movie. I'm not going to say
And
anything
TikTok
else
will
about
ban
her.
you.
Yep.
But yes.
Actually, TikTok did remove one of our videos
They did.
because I said that Miss Marvel looked like a horrible TV show. But
They did. But it's back up.
it is.
And it's okay.
Yep.
We'll keep it moving.
That's right. It has like the most people like it when we bash on things. You know that?
People like controversy. People like
Yeah.
violence, as they say,
Yep.
whether it's like physical violence or
Yep.
So
Mhm.
I don't think this episode had a lot of that. I think we were both very kind of tired and
Yep.
a bit low key. But here we are, episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're there. All right. How long has this been so far?
I don't even know.
I feel like we've been going for like an hour.
Got 1 minute until an actual hour.
Yeah. I feel
Wow.
like we've been going an hour.
Yeah.
So
Almost an hour.
I think
Well,
yeah.
One last thing to maybe kind of end it
Yeah.
with.
You're good.
Some of my friends who saw Doctor Strange
Mm-hmm.
didn't like it because they thought it was very silly or that it was very different from the very first Doctor Strange, which I thought that in terms of tone, it really was different. Now, as I'm kind of reflecting on that, I'm thinking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has similar elements to Loki, but I'm thinking about even Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm. That was a fun show.
Yeah, it was a fun
I
show,
like Hawkeye.
but it's more grounded in what's seemingly reality,
Sure.
kind of. You know, I mean, they're shooting arrows at
Yeah.
people and all that, but
Yeah.
but yeah, it just had a completely different tone, and there are different Marvel series and movies that are kind of fitting into a particular tone.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm really excited, but also kind of wondering, not worried, but wondering. I mean, we got to trust in Marvel.
Trust the Marvel.
How they're going to kind of bring all of these different tones together.
right.
You know?
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know.
We will find out.
We will find out.
Well, friends, thank you for listening. Shout out to all our irreverent aliens
That's right.
all over the globe and in this universe and in all the other universes.
That's right.
Universes
Yep.
in the world.
The multiverse.
Shout out to Jeremy Jed, our producer slash sound slash like video slash everything. Just shout out to Jeremy Jed.
Sound guy,
Everything.
videographer,
And
man
yeah.
behind the curtain.
Yep.
Yep.
Thanks for your time and your attention. It's been an honor. So myself and JB, we'll be back in the next episode, and we will definitely not talk about any Marvel things in the next episode. That's for sure. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yep.
Whether on YouTube or wherever you are streaming this episode, and leave a comment or review. It helps us a lot to get the algorithm to like us and to share this with more people who may like the show. So
That's right.
thank you for your time and for your comments and for helping us. And keep being nerds.
That's right. Yep. All right. Peace out, everybody.
Peace out.
Yep.
Peace out.
All right.